Hi, Pagan Shooter here. Alright, so I'm on to the next one on our series. I am going to be showing how to clean the Smith & Wesson 40 cal, or the Smith & Wesson M&P 40. This would be the full size. Go ahead and show you guys here. This would be the full size. And just so the safety check Nazis know, there is nothing there and nothing in the chamber. So we are completely clear on this one. So for this one, I don't, for this gun, I don't like using the takedown tool. It's a real pain in the ass to pull out of there. And honestly, I'm used to the old Ruger method. And you just reach your finger in and do it, or you can just pull the trigger when you're ready. So then basically you just turn this down, slide the slide back, just turn this down, pull the trigger, and the top comes off. So we've got the grip and the lower feed ramp there. You can see it down in there. It's a little dirty. And you've got the barrel, slide, and captured spring assembly. So essentially you're just going to pull the captured spring assembly out. You've got the barrel and slide. You just gently lift up and pull out the barrel. And you can see that barrel's kind of dirty down in there. So not too bad, but it's got a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started with this. First thing I like to do is I like to make sure that we have wet down the barrel pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple of patches on my pull strap here. I'm going to wet it down with a little hoppies, just like this, and we'll go ahead and just pull right through the barrel. And this is basically just to wet down the barrel. This is not trying to scrub it. This is not trying to clean it. We are trying to make sure we get plenty of the chemicals, the hops, or hoppies as I call it, on the surfaces, so it starts breaking down the carbon and all the powder and any lead or anything like that. Now I usually just rub it down around, and then around the spring here, as you see, and then down in the base here. So we have effectively just applied, using one patch, our hoppies or our breakdown chemicals to the entire gun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the other end of this, and I'm going to apply a brush. And this is not really designed to do a lot of scrubbing. It's more of to break up the materials that are in there. We're going to use a patch, so that we pull through, and once again we pull through. Notice it's going through on the breech side. That's the common theme here. You don't ever want to push it in through the barrel unless you absolutely cannot avoid it, because the barrel tip will damage and you can end up getting inaccuracies in your guns. That's always a bad idea to do it from that angle. Alright, so we've gone ahead and broke it up a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a little nylon brush and break up whatever's on the surface here. Now, those of you looking at this thinking, you know, that gun wasn't that dirty, I would have let it go. Yeah, you're probably right. Most of these guns are capable of going a couple 100,000 rounds without actually having any fouling or any issues. I'm one of those people that doesn't believe you should leave your gun dirty, that you should clean it whenever you get the chance. Make sure that there is no extra materials down on the feed ramp here, or down inside in the grooves, or inside where the barrel meets the where the barrel meets the rest of the gun, or where the breech locks into the slide, or where the firing pin facing is, or the extractor is. You know, honestly, I believe that it is always wiser to keep it clean. Now, this is my personal belief, so I mean, if you believe differently, that's fine. Absolutely clean it only when you feel it is totally necessary. And if your gun functions like that, which most will, even the high point will function until it reaches several thousand rounds. The problem with it is it bothers me. And it's all about me. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, though, it is really up to the individual how they feel. But, once again, I'm one of those people that believes you should clean your gun pretty regularly. And if you don't use it and you have one of the old blue metal surfaces, you definitely should keep your gun oiled. Those had a tendency to have rust spots form after so much time. So it's always best to keep those oiled up. So I'm just cleaning off the surfaces now of the extra materials and of the gunpowder residue and any leading that might happen on the inside of the barrel, which I'll be running a patch for that. So right now what I'm doing is, you can see I'm just getting down inside the grooves and down inside the slide here, just making sure we have clean surfaces for everything to kind of ride along and meet up with. Just getting any the extra materials off the outside, because I've heard people saying that that some of the hops and some of the other chemicals can that you use to break down the cleaning chemicals can cause your finish to go. And honestly, I don't know if I believe that or not, but that one I'm kind of willing to say better safe than sorry, and I'm okay with going and wiping it down and making sure there isn't excess on there. Now, I know that it's not going to be a problem for a short time, but we're talking you leave it for a couple of weeks and it's possible that you can cause some problems. So going back to the patches, we're going to start running a few patches down the barrel, and it's just a standard large patch, and just drop it down the barrel and run it right on through. And you can see it's getting kind of dirty through there. So there's a little bit in there. I like these to flow through a little bit, or come through a little bit stiffer, or like a little bit more difficult. So they press against the side a little bit better. So we're gonna double these up, and there we go. That makes it push against the inside of the barrel a little bit harder. And you see it comes out, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of dirt on that patch. The barrel is starting to look pretty clean. I'm going to go ahead and run it through a couple more times just to make sure. And there we go. Go ahead and pull it through. You see it's still coming through a little bit dirty. There we go. Let's see. And because I doubled them up, I can go ahead and flip them outward like that. And push them back through the little eye hole, just like that. And pull it through, and pull it through. And it looks like those are coming through pretty clean. And if you look down that barrel, compared to what it was when you first looked, that's pretty shiny and clean in there. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And this is that used Smith & Wesson 40, and you can see there is no damage to the barrel at all. This was a decent gun. It was just really, really, really dirty when I got it. Okay, so now that I've cleaned it, we're going to oil it up real quick for it. So what I have here is actually, I've had some people ask me, this is actually an old sewing oil container. I had emptied it out, and I filled it with my favorite oil, which is the REM oil. However, and you can see it's got the little applicator tip there, but yeah, it works really well. It allows me to get just a little dab where I want it. It doesn't produce a lot of oil in there, just a little bitty bit of oil just where I want it. And you'll see, I just put a little bit on there. I mean, it's just a dot, just a little bit there. And then I'm gonna rub that in, just so it's just a little shine of it. You can see how it's all just a sheen. It's not like really gooped on there. I don't like adding a lot of oil to it, but you gotta have some. So, slide. So what I'm doing now is I'm just sliding the barrel down in. Now, you'll notice I didn't oil up around the barrel tip here. The barrel gets really hot, so it's going to burn off anyway, but most times it doesn't actually ride the grooves or the circle here, the opening here. It's just basically, it'll burn off anyway. It's not going to do you any good. So I already put a little oil down in the grooves on the side here. Just going to make sure I touch it. Just a dot down in there. If you can, I don't know if you can see how little amount that is, but just a dot down in there. And I'm going to put a dot in there. And just a little back here. Just so the surfaces don't get any extra wear to them because of it. I should probably put my spring in. And I'm just going to add a little to the outside, to this as well. And so now we've got the guide rod, and you'll see there's a small piece here and there's a large piece here. The large piece goes back on here, right on the front of that. So we slide this up into this hole here, and we push, and it slides right onto that little shelf right there. And then, to put it back together, you slide it in the grooves right there. And then this slides in, and the glide, and it's all the way back. So now, I usually work it in a little bit to make sure there's no binding. Verify visually, it looks right. Now, if you had broken it down using the breakdown tool, there is a piece inside here that would be flipped forward that you still need to flip back. But because I didn't do that, I don't have to do that. So slide it forward, pull the trigger, rack the slide, release the trigger, and it reset and pulls again. There we go. That looks like it's good. So the Smith & Wesson M&P 40, real easy to clean, real easy to break down. Once again, breakdown, very simple. Lock your slide back, pull down your lever. There's your lever pulled down. And then release your slide, pull the trigger, comes right apart. Put it back together. You don't even have to flip the switch back. You're just going to slide it back in like this, and back it goes. Your locking lever goes right back up. All done. Very simple, very quick breakdown, very easy to clean. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of the military and police, well, it was designed for military and police. I think that's one of the reasons why, or one of the things that they had designed for it. M&P 40. How do you clean yours? Anyway, like, subscribe, share. Don't forget we still have that contest going on. Hopefully we can get that done quick. Talk to you soon.